Hey, what up, guys? Johnny Zombie here. Back with my impressions of the DualShock 4 and or the PlayStation 4 controller. A little disclaimer before we get into it. I'd actually filmed this back around the time I got the system, and it was several minutes worth of footage, and somehow I accidentally deleted it from my phone, which is the camera that I use, and tried recovering it with software on my computer from my SD card, and unfortunately couldn't. But I'm kind of glad now because I'm left with some different impressions than what I initially had of the controller. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Um, as you can see, that the first most obvious thing is it's definitely larger than the. Well, yeah, I've got it on right now too. Yeah, it's definitely larger than the DualShock 3, which is nice. That's a big complaint I've I've always had with it. Yeah, bear with me here just a second. I'm grabbing the other. Yeah, it's a big complaint I've always had with the DualShock 3. It's kind of dirty. It's been sitting for a while ever since I've had the PlayStation 4. I've mainly just been getting on my PS3 to use YouTube for a while. But yeah, anyway, it's obviously bigger. And it's bigger in the areas where it matters most to me. Like, I've always preferred the Xbox controllers, where they're thicker. They kind of like fill your palm better. And yeah, this DualShock 4, it really does indeed fill your palm quite a bit better and gives you better grip. Um, so yeah, not only that, but where you grip on the ends and edges here is angled differently, and it seems to be better angled than these are kind of more steeply angled on the DualShock 3, and I think they kind of fatigue you, quicker over time than what the DualShock 4 does. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, as you can see, there's a little opening or multiple small openings here. This section right here. Yeah, if you guys don't already know, that's a speaker for stuff like when you'll, for example, pick up a data pad in a game, and often it's just like you read the text, or like if there is sound, like it'll read it through the TV speakers. It'll come through this instead, which is kind of cool. Um, that's the only way I've seen it used thus far. So yeah, who knows what? It's really up to developers as to what they'll end up doing with it. Um, let's see. Yeah, the analog sticks, really cool. You got a combination of it's kind of dips in here on the side, but it's still mainly a convex design, um, which the DualShock 3 is also a total convex design. Um, I dig that. Like, as you can see here, I've got my control. I've got a Control Freak Vortex stick extension here added on top. I like having a stick extension and a bit more grip on my right stick for shooter games in particular, but I can't stand the extra height on my movement stick or the left stick. I just can't deal with it, so yeah, that's why I just rock one. But as you can see, that this is concave, more like the Xbox style, which does seem to kind of be a bit grippier for me, especially into like mid to closer range engagements and shooters in particular. I've noticed that the convex style though is a bit better for like longer range engagements. So yeah, I'm liable to swap those out at any given time. But yeah, I like how that's feeling so far. The sticks seem to be lower profile on the DualShock 4 as well. So again, I dig that. Yeah, not much of a as much of an issue with the height of them. There's definitely more resistance in the sticks. So yeah, that's nice. Sorry, bear with me. I live really close to train tracks. um, let's see what else. Oh yeah, the touchpad. The touchpad is really nice. It feels really nice and clicky. I'm not sure if you guys can see the gap close right there. It goes down more than I thought it would. It feels nice and substantial and clicky, more like a button as opposed to just kind of tapping a pad. Um, you can see the little um, tracker sensor marker things on the face of it here. Those I thought in pictures by looking at them that they might be textured, but they're really not. It's a very smooth, very easy to glide your fingers, or thumbs across of type of surface, which I think would be what you'd want or would be most ideal, like in Killzone and Shadowfall, for example. Like you to use the little assistant drone, the little owl, I think it's called. Yeah, you just swipe like up, left, and right. I think primarily to change its firing modes, or like it'll offer you a shield and just random things like that. I think one's also a stun like mode that it'll go out and stun enemies. So that's cool. That it's done in a not so intrusive way, as far as like you don't. I think it's either L1 or R1 to actually send it out. So it's like in the heat of battle, you're not like fiddling with the trackpad. Really, it's not as big a deal as what I thought it would be. Um, the D-pad's much better. It feels much more precise. I like how it kind of curves down in the middle of it there. Kind of that would be, I think, excellent for fighting games. When you really need to kind of do like a swoop, like a circle motion or something like that. Not as big a deal for me. I'm not really big into fighting games, but yeah, there's that tidbit of info. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, the share and options buttons aren't they weren't as big a deal to adjust to as what I thought they would be. Options basically just functions as start with. You might get some additional options just depending on what type of menu or sub menu you're in. Share, it's really easy, really straightforward. You just you get like when you hit that, it gives you the option to post like a snapshot or something to Facebook or Twitter or whatever you choose, or whatever they happen to enable eventually. I know eventually they'll have YouTube enabled on there, but so far it's just Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Ustream. Twitch and Ustream being the live stream services. And I've used Twitch. This is kind of a non-related point on this vid, but yeah, I've used Twitch, and it actually works really well. So yeah, I'm really digging that. Um, but yeah, so it'll give you, of the three things. We'll get back to that again. It gives you the option to share a picture, share a vid, like a 15-minute or less vid, or just do a full-blown live stream. And that's all that's used for that I've seen thus far. Um, okay, as you can see, the light there on the front may appear as though it's pretty bright, and I guess it's like in a dark room, it would be pretty bright if you were looking at it dead on. But the cool thing is, which I didn't realize this by looking at pics, it's kind of angled down like toward like your lap or whatever if you were holding the controller, instead of more like I was afraid, like even though I don't have a glossy TV screen, most of them seem to be going that way as far as like how they're manufactured. More often than not, they seem to be glossy as opposed to matte anymore. And I was kind of worried about like in the future when I'd get a new TV, whether or not it would reflect that bad. But I really don't think it's going to be an issue because it's wisely angled down in a way it doesn't really face as far forward as what you'd figure. Um, yeah, there's the charging port. The triggers are incredible. An unbelievably great improvement over the DualShock 3. You actually have extended triggers that actually hook up under your fingers now. Instead of having to fool with goofy snap-on extensions for the DualShock 3 that would constantly snap off for me. Jeez Louise. Um, they they seem to have more resistance to them. They definitely got a nice bit of spring pressure behind them, which I think feels really nice for shooters, and I would imagine for driving games as well. Um, Shoulder buttons feel pretty similar overall in comparison to the DualShock 3, except that there's just more curvature to them. So yeah, again, that seems to feel better as far as, like, when you wrap your finger around the corner of the controller there, seems to be easier to engage. Um, let's see what else. Stick pressure, as far as pressing down like L3 and R3, feels comparable. Yeah, nothing really of note there. Um, as you can see, the top side is glossy, and then you've got this new underside that is very nice and textured. I don't know if you guys can really tell, really see that. Yeah, there we go. Um, when I saw the pics, I thought it was like a rubberized surface, but it's actually not. It's still just plastic. Um, and it's not as aggressive as it may look. They're really fine nubs. So yeah, it's not uncomfortable to hold at all, and definitely helps to provide extra grip. Um, that being said, just like I discussed with a buddy recently, I'm curious as to how long it will take before that starts to wear down. Because I'm definitely a hardcore gamer, and put a lot of hours in day to day. So yeah, I'm just wondering. That's a cool little. Yeah, you got that little. I guess that's an arch for to make room for the battery pack. Um, yeah, that actually really works in your favor as well, as far as helping with like where your fingers are resting under the controller. Just seems to make it more comfortable. Um, oh yeah, another thing too, which you'd have to figure, as grippy as that underside is, it's great if you get sweaty palms, which I do on occasion when I'm playing, something really intense. So yeah, it's great, feels great. And I suppose the last thing I will touch on will be the this auxiliary port here, which I guess I didn't address yet. Right here's the charging port at the front. Which yeah, actually I might have in a yeah, in a separate vid that I did about yeah, the cell phone charger vid. So yeah, go over there and check that out. Let's see. The last thing I'll touch on here is yeah, this auxiliary port. I'm not sure what this one is. It says EXT. I would imagine eventually that'll be for a headset. You know, maybe some type of unique like a text chat adapter thing, like how they have for the DualShock 3. Who knows? But this other port to the right over here is just a standard 1/8 of an inch port. You can plug in earbuds, and it'll output game sound and everything, chat sound and all to your earbuds, and then also your the included inline mono chat mic. Um, so yeah, that's really cool that they included that, not some proprietary garbage like what's on the Xbox. I'm not talking crap about the Xbox. I love the Xbox stuff too. I'm just saying I don't like that design. Um, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. It's very comfortable to use overall. I still wish it was a bit fuller in the grips still yet, and the grips extended further back into my palms, more like the Xbox, which is more comfortable for me. Because I've noticed after several hours or so, like marathon sessions, it'll give me wrist cramps. But other than that, very minor complaint. Okay, I guess that's it, guys. To keep it under 15 minutes so I can put it on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I really appreciate you checking out the vid, and stay tuned for more. Okay, later.